Alright girls, our first topic for advanced maths, it's a very easy topic. It's transformational functions. Most of the content you've already learned before. It's just a matter of learning how graph changes when you like add stuff or take away stuff. Okay, so we're going to do two exercises because they're pretty straightforward exercises. Okay, something that you've already done before. Okay, so we're going to be looking at vertical and horizontal translation. And you've learned before, if you have a certain function and you add 3 to it, that means you're going to get the graph and shift it up by 3 units. Yeah, you've learned that. Same thing here, if you have a straight line and you have -3, that means you're going 3 units down with the graph. That's vertical, and that's basically your first exercise. For horizontal, we've learned if it's in a bracket, if I want to figure out what the x value is here, that's x equals to opposite of +3, which is -3. And you know that means the graph just gets shifted by 3 units to the left. Okay, so that's horizontal translation. Same thing here. We know x is equal to opposite of -3, which is +3, which means you're just getting the graph shifting it 3 units to the right. So that's basically what we're going to apply in the first 2 exercises. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual questions. Exercise 2.1, question 4a. So find the equation of each translated function. So you've got y equals to x squared, and if it's translated 3 units downwards, you're just writing -3 next to it. That's it. Okay. Similarly, for question 4b, you've got f of x is equal to 2 to the power of x, and if it translated 8 units upwards, that just means you're writing +8 next to it. Okay, pretty simple stuff. Now let's actually sketch some of these graphs. So question 9c, it says sketch the absolute of x and then draw -3 of that. Okay, I just wanted to go through that question because a lot of you girls made silly errors when it came to absolute graphs. So remember, if you want to draw absolute graph, you want to draw the graph without the absolute first. Draw y equals to x, which is just a straight line. Oh my gosh. Okay, and it goes through 1 and 1. And then if you're absoluting that, anything that's below the x-axis, in this case that bit, gets reflected up. So it's just going to be like that, okay? And rub the other bit off, all right? So that's my absolute of x. And then from here, they want you to draw -3. So that means you're just going to have this graph 3 units down. So instead of starting at 0, it's going to start at 1 to -3, okay? So draw that graph, and there you go, okay? I mean, you can leave it like that, but if you want to be more specific and find the x intercepts, obviously you could solve that by making y equals to 0. So in this case, it would be 3 is equal to absolute of x. That means x is equal to plus or minus 3. Okay? So that would be your graph. Okay? If for any of these exercises you're not sure how to sketch it, use Desmos, type the equation in and just see how it looks like when you type them in. Okay? Question 12a is a good question. Let's have a look. It says show that's equal to that. All right. Now with this type of question, you want to prove these two separate terms put together is equal to that one fraction together. So you want to work with this side here first. Okay. So notice how this has a denominator of x. This doesn't. This is over 1. So you want to times the top and the bottom by x to make them both with the same denominator. That will stay the same, but this will be 3x. And as you can see, this is the same thing as the left-hand side. Okay, that's done. Now, the reason why they wanted you to prove that is so for the next question, they want you to actually sketch that. Okay? So let me reiterate, it's actually kind of a common exam question. Sometimes, like, you don't know how to sketch this. Like, we haven't learned how to sketch that in 2-unit. But you do know how to sketch that because this is firstly just a hyperbola, and +3 means we're just going to shift the hyperbola 3 units up. Okay? So let's sketch 1 over x. As we know, is just a hyperbola that looks like this, and it goes through 1 and 1. Okay? Now, just keep in mind, this is the asymptote as well. More specifically, y equals to 0 is the asymptote. Okay? From here, if you're shifting it up by 3, that means instead of y equals to 0 being the asymptote, it will be 1, 2, 3. That will be the new asymptote. Okay, and then draw the same graph. Okay? Okay, so that's basically it. Okay, if you want to explore it in more depth, you can put it on Desmos. But that's basically the first exercise for you. Okay, let's get on to the second exercise. Okay, so question 3a, find the equation if y equals x squared is translated 3 units to the left. So if it's a horizontal translation, you have to put it in a bracket. Just from the other side of the board, remember if you're shifting the graph to the left, it's plus a number. If it's to the right, it's minus a certain number. So from here, if you're moving it 3 units to the left, that means you want to put it in a bracket with x inside and the square goes outside, okay? And if it says 3 units to the left, left means plus 3, okay? That's it. Question 3b, it says f of x to the power of x is translated 8 units to the right. So anything with the x, put it in a bracket, and if it's to the right, put minus 8. Okay, done. All right, let's have a look at 9b. Okay, so it says to sketch ln x. Okay, let's do that first. If you recall, or if you don't know, type it in Desmos, but it looks like this. Okay, and it goes through 1. And this is the asymptote. More specifically, x equals to 0 is the asymptote. Okay? So from here, if they want you to sketch ln x plus 2, here, like we know, that's x equals to minus 2. That means we're going to shift this graph 2 units to the left. So instead of going through 1, you'll go through 1, 2, minus 1. You'll go through here. And the asymptote, x equals to 0, instead of 0, we're going to go 2 units to the left, 1, 2. That's going to be our new asymptote, and draw the same graph. Okay? That's basically it. Okay, that's basically all you need to do the first 2 exercises. Alright girls, I've written the exercise you need to do on the other side of the board. Give it a go and see if you have any questions. Thanks.